Do not ignore your opponent's last move. Well, don't ignore them at all. Always need to ask yourself, what do they have in mind when they do that? Especially when you're having material advantage or a better position and you are about to just win, and they just play something and it looks to you like it might be like just a bluff. And even if it is, you still need to properly inquire and do not let the guard down. Okay, because you just simply lose. And we're going to look at a couple of examples here, and they will be incredibly, incredibly unfortunate and very frustrating. So, in this position here, you're up a queen. Okay, you just got the queen, and you got two rooks and two minor pieces. You're definitely winning with the black pieces here. But just got an impromptu message. But you need to think very carefully now about blocking with the rook or running away, because these are the only two options you've gotten. And I know it's a little bit counterintuitive now to say, well, I'm going to block with the rook because the guy, he's going to check me, he's going to take care. I don't want to do that in particular, right? I mean, it's counterintuitive. And you might be tempted, you might be inclined to say, oh, I'm just going in the corner, nothing's going to happen. It's a disaster. So you got to look at it and actually give back some of the material you've taken from them. Because if you're going to go on h8, it's checkmate in two moves. I'm sorry to break it to you. It happens. It happened and probably will happen many times for folks because you got to look at them properly. Now, king to h8 will be replied with rook takes h7. You have to take, and then the other rook plays and checkmates you. That's it. You've lost. You're going to be very upset about this. Therefore, you really need to look at the stuff like rook to f7. Yes, of course, they're going to check. They're going to fork the pieces here, and you're going to move. And that's what it is. They just took a rook from you. You're still going to be winning. There is no strong attack here happening. Okay, there's nothing. You just took the pawn now. There is no danger of a checkmate. No sacrifice is going to work now. And you can handle this. It's fine. You should be able to win at this stage because you took with the right piece. Let's look at another tutorial here. Again, one of those situations, and you might be tempted to say, oh, I'm creating our super battery here, queen and bishop attacking on c7, and I'll be just simply delivering checkmate, right? I mean, it's unstoppable. They can't block with anything. That would be incredibly, incredibly annoying for you here to just realize that if you play queen to f4, threatening checkmate on c7, you're going to have the super, super annoying move bishop h6, which actually pins the queen to the king, so you can't move away. The queen is pinned, and you're going to have to give the queen at a stage, so that's a disaster. So you need to look at this fine. These kind of subtleties are not over until it's over, until the other person resigns the game and stuff like that. So you've got to play the right one. Bishop takes f4, and it's just great. It's just great. Clear advantage for white. You may want to open up the h or get a rook here on the e. There's no problem. There's absolutely no problem here whatsoever. You're doing very well with white. Another scenario here, my chess friends. Again, white is winning, crushingly winning here. Big, big advantage, material, positionally. You're doing very well. You just need to be careful about your candidate moves here. Comparison of moves. Sense the danger. Just don't sleep on the laurels. Don't dream about the trophy you're going to take or the congrats you're going to get maybe from friends and coach and stuff and schoolmates and things. So now you are in check. If you play something like king d1, I mean, actually, it's even better than this. If it's king d1, they're going to be taking your guy, and it's just a disaster. I mean, you can't do this. If you're thinking about playing king to e2, it's getting really ugly after pawn moves on d3 check, and actually you're going to drop the queen. I mean, it is. You have to think of that. And actually, the only move is king f2. And now you've got no problem. Even if they check you a little bit more, you're going to be moving on g2. And that's it. Everything's finished. They check you maybe a bit more, but then you're going to block eventually. And there's nothing else for black to dream about doing here. That's it. You're winning. But you still need to exert your accuracy, to think things through clearly. And don't mess it up at the very end. It's not over, remember, until the other guy actually resigns. This one here. Probably your instinct might be telling you, oh, can I just take that knight, and if they check me with the rook, I'm gonna just go back. I mean, you might be thinking just half of the idea, but it's not over. You have to look at all the range of the possibilities, and you need to sense the problem here, the danger. If you take with the king, it's an absolute disaster because, again, you're having a major issue on the dark squares. C5, bishop c5. Again, queen is being pinned. You can't do nothing. You've lost the queen. That's it. I'm sorry. So you got to be careful of this one and realize you actually have to take with the queen. Okay, and now if they threaten you with c5, luckily you've got resources to react with, but you still have to think about this one because you got bishop to e3 or pawn to e3. Now, if you do bishop to e3, keep in mind that there might be always maybe ideas like this, or they might be taking first here, and actually bishop to e3 it's a disaster because again bishop's going to take and you're going to drop the queen, right? So you can't do this. Therefore, you got to push the pawn. So that's the right way. Bishop e3 doesn't work because bishop takes and you just drop the queen here. So you got to play something like e3 and it's done. That's it. Nice. So let me count again. 1, 2, 3. 3 minor pieces, 2 minor pieces. You're doing fine. You are up a piece here. You're winning. You're winning. Next exercise here. My friends, let's see. We've got a check, right? So what do we block with here? And again, I hope it's visible, guys. I hope it's visible. There's no point in playing something like this kind of crazy bomb cloud, putting the king on the, this just, you can't do this. So you can disregard this one completely. You got to look at blocking the check incoming from the black queen. Now, obviously, if you do this kind of stuff, you're going to run into a pin and the queen is goodbye. So you've got to block the bishop here, block with the bishop, drop the bishop. You hit the queen, and it doesn't matter what they do. They move the queen away, they block with the bishop, everything's fine because you've got 3 minor pieces versus 2, and you're winning. So this theme just wanted to make you aware and familiar with the fact that the game is not quite over, again, until the other person just simply resigns. So you really have to look at stuff here. Now, there is a principle in chess that says now, especially when there's this jumpy knight in the middle of the board, and you don't want to expose yourself a bit more to further attacks. So probably you just need to look for the safest way to be dealing with this check. And actually, this is a disaster if you take in here. You're going to start dropping pieces. You're going to lose the game. I'm sorry. It may not look visible because you're going to look, oh, what? The knight can't do nothing. But actually, it's not the knight. It's not the knight. If you're tempted to taking this pawn here, you're gonna face possibly g4. And probably they will see that, and g4 checks the king. You have to move, and that's an actually discovered attack because you're going to get checked. You're going to have to react to check, and after which the rook is gone on b2. That's it. You've lost the rook. You can't do this. So just go for the super safe and nice one. Very, very prudent here. King to h6, and you've got no issue whatsoever. Everything's fine. You're going to be winning. You got this, you got this, you got 2 rooks. You're going to be taking this guy sooner or later, and everything's great. And if there is anything coming down here, probably you can always dream about. You could just try something like this, and you should be fine. Okay, let's look at the next one here. Right, so what do we do here? Okay, I think we've seen that. If you're getting, again, if you're not careful towards the end, you sense you've got a better position, better attacking, but you still need to exert your clarity because if you're tempted and you just go grab the pawn, you think about defending b6, and you think that if they play this, you're going to play that, and stuff like this, it's not quite the whole idea. Because after queen takes on b2, actually you're facing a big problem here because we've got a bishop here on h7 check. And you've got to do something. You've got to take that guy with something. And when that thing happens, actually white is attacking twice the c8 square. So again, you are going to lose the game because you lose material. And the balance is incredibly sensitive. So you got to be very careful about this one. So rather than taking, perhaps you may want to think about hitting the queen and defending b6 and play a very nice, very decent position here. You're doing very well. Queen has to move. Pawn b6 is being defended. Take it from here, and it's great, you know. they go like this, you're going to be further hitting them and stuff. So it's very promising and it's very cool for black if to play in this fashion. Next exercise here, guys. What do we do? Perhaps the last exercise today. So very appealing looks like you want to go back on c3, right? Because you want to keep your guys in the center. You know that the knight on the rim is a dim knight, so you don't want to play on a3 because you're feeling and you remember, yeah, well, I'm going to play knight c3. My pieces are amassed in the center of the board. Problem being, though, after you play knight c3, there is this troublesome rook here that will be forking two bishops at once. Therefore, it's just not looking good at all. So you need to, exert restraint. And when this thing happens, just think, what are my possibilities? So if c3 can be discarded because of the fork, you need to look at knight a3. And yeah, I know, knight is on the margin, but you're still one piece up. You're going to readjust that knight and you're going to make him active again. So you're going to play knight to a3. There is no fork happening here. And you've got the necessary tempi to dropping the bishops to safety. If they really insist on creating some pressure here with the rook perhaps or something. So you're going to play this guy here. Have probably going to just trade off everything. And it's cool. It's nice. Okay, so guys, pay attention. Game is not over until the other person resigns or they're getting flagged or something. And always look for, for this little complications at the end. Ask yourself, why did my opponent play that? And just try to make a comparison in between the moves. Have that sense of danger. Keep your concentration level up, and relax after the game. And during the game, try to maintain your focus. So thanks for watching this short film, guys, and thanks for being here with me. Subscribe to this channel, and see you soon.